What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Dylan Matthews back at it again with the Hometown Take Podcast, episode 10, coming at you right now. We are in the double digits, people, trying to make this thing big time. You already know what's going on. I hope you all are doing well. Got a good show lined up for you guys today. Gonna be longer than the last one. Just kind of wanted to give you a reaction to, the Keuchel deal and also the NBA Finals. Gonna break down the NBA Finals. Game 5 tonight, 9 Eastern time. Going to talk about that a little later on. Also got some Braves talk I want to throw at you. The bullpen still kind of concerns me, but I'm going to tell you why I'm not too concerned in a little bit. But first things first, I want to get into a little Falcon news. So today was the first day of mandatory minicamp, and you all should be pleasantly surprised to know, well, not surprised, but you all should be happy to know that Julio Debo, Grady, and Vic Beasley all are at mandatory minicamp today. Now, you're probably thinking, why Dylan? Like, what is the point of you talking about this? Like, what are you saying by saying that? Well, one, we all know Vic is a free agent at the end of this year. Grady is still waiting on a new deal from us. Debo obviously has that injury he is coming from, so it's just good to see him on the field. Even though he did come back last season and finish the season out, still good to see him in. And his contract is expiring too, so he's going to be looking for a new deal too. And Julio obviously is looking for another deal as well. We told him last year, hey, if you just come play, come to training camp, come to mini camp, all that good stuff, OTAs, we're going to bump your salary or just, prorate you some money, just put some money up in the front end, and then we'll give you a new deal next year. Well, it's next year now, and Julio wants to secure that bag. But it is good to know that they all are at mandatory minicamp today because, to me, it says the team is together. They're focused on winning, and none of those players I just listed off are too worried about themselves and getting their own deal. Now, granted, all those players want to secure the bag. All those players want to get their own deal. All those players want to get that cash eventually. But it shows that they are worried about winning right now. They know they are in a championship window that is going to close pretty soon. They don't have too much longer because, one, you can't keep everybody with the contracts of Keanu Neal, Deion Jones. Obviously, you're having to pay Grady now. Obviously, you drafted so well in 2016. You can't pay everybody. The guy like Devondre Campbell might have to go. But, you got him now, so you're trying to win now while you still have all those pieces with you and together right now on this Falcons squad. So it just shows that all those players are concerned about winning now, winning a championship now, because even though, yes, you do get a fine of, I believe it is $88,650 if you miss all 3 days of minicamp. Granted, that's like some chump change for these players, especially a guy like Julio, Grady. They're like, they ain't worried about all that. Like, they ain't worried about that, especially now they know they about to get paid. But it shows that even though they could afford to take the fine and send a message, they're sending an even bigger message saying, hey, I'm a team player. I'm going to be a team player right now. I'm not worried about getting my deal. I know I'm going to get that money. I know I'm going to get my cash. I know I'm going to secure the bag. I know I'm going to do all that. So let me go out here, be with my teammates, and be out in the field with my guys and show that I'm about winning right now as it stands. Now, with all that being said, Julio and Debo are not actually practicing today because they are both rehabbing foot injuries, that being reported by D. Orlando Ledbetter from the AJC. Well, probably reported by multiple people, but that's where I got it from. That's my source. Giving credit where credit is due. But Dan Quinn also told the AJC Sports and other Falcons news that the team enjoyed its visit with unrestricted free agent defensive end Allen Bailey, but no deal is in place as of right now. So can't say whether or not they're going to sign Allen Bailey, but they did enjoy the visit with him, and it will be a good signing. Allen Bailey, a good rotational piece. Won't knock our socks off. I mean, maybe he could, but not expecting him to. That's not the kind of player he really is. So there are some things on the Falcons right about now. All the important guys are at mini camp. Obviously, Matt Ryan and Devontae Freeman are there too. Calvin Ridley, all those boys as well are there. But the ones who kind of have some contract, disputes, wouldn't necessarily say issues, but the guys who got some contracts expiring and are waiting for some money, they're still there too. So that's good. Shows that the team is really together. Still a brotherhood. Still running the tight ship there at Flowery Branch. So the Atlanta Falcons kicking off mandatory minicamp today, and all of our good pieces are there. Desmond Trufant is not there in other news just because of a personal reason, but he was excused, so no big deal there. But while we're talking about the Falcons, man, I just brought it up, just brought it to light. Our window really is closing kind of fast, guys. I mean, we got maybe 2-3 years, max 4. Julio, he's staying in great shape. Yes, he's doing great things now, but we know about the wear and tear on his body. We know that while I wouldn't say injury prone because he usually toughs it out and stays on the field, that's a lot of wear and tear on his body in the next between 2 and 4 years. Julio's probably not going to be the same player. Granted, we have Calvin Ridley, but we don't know how long we're going to be able to keep Mohamed Sanu. We got to pay all our other guys. Mohamed Sanu might have to be a fatality like Devondre Campbell or somebody like that. It's just we don't know how long we're going to be able to keep this particular team together, this core together, talking about Matt Ryan, Devontae Freeman. Now, those two players are locked up, obviously, but, other guys in question, like I said, Devondre Campbell, maybe Desmond Trufant in a few years. He still has a big cap hit for probably, for the next 2 seasons, but maybe after that, maybe Desmond Trufant has to go. We did just draft a corner. We do have Isaiah Oliver in the wings coming into his second year, who's probably going to start this year. We got Keanu Neal. We got DeMonte Casey, who might move over to corner as well. We can't keep everybody. I think we'll keep Keanu. I think we'll keep Debo. We're definitely keeping Grady. But we can't keep everybody. What's going to happen to Ricardo? Ricardo's starting to get up there in age. Not crazy old, but still. There are going to be some fatalities on this team. And this team, I guarantee you, will not look the same in 2 years. There are going to be some players we have to part ways with that we're not going to be too happy about. At least the fans. Probably the organization too, but definitely not the fans. So, Falcons, they got to do it now. Our time is now. The next between 2, max 4 years. We got to bring home a ring. Or this championship window was wasted. Especially after what happened in 2016. But I'm not trying to get my blood boiling too much. So I ain't going to touch too much on that. Because I'm not trying to have a bad day today. I've had a good day so far. Not trying to make it bad. But moving on from the Falcons. One last time recap. Julio, Deion Jones, Grady Jarrett, Vic Beasley, all at mandatory minicamp today. Julio and Debo not practicing because they are rehabbing the foot injuries. But I do like that everybody is there, says they are ready to win, focused on winning, and they know that their contracts will get worked out eventually. So they're doing what they got to do. So good job, Falcons. Keep up the good work. And Lord knows we just got to stay healthy. And we got a chance. We got a real chance. Moving on to our Atlanta Braves. They were in action yesterday. Took on the Miami Marlins and got a sweep of the Miami Marlins with a final score of 7-6, even though it took 12 innings because the bullpen almost blew it again. Now, usually I would be a little more up in arms, a little more heated, but I'm not too mad, and I'll tell you why I'm not too mad. I'm not too mad because of this Dallas Keuchel signing. I'm giving Liberty Media the benefit of the doubt because of this Dallas Keuchel signing. They showed me with that Dallas Keuchel signing, I said it in the last episode, episode 9, if you want to check that out. With this signing, it showed me that they are willing to do what it takes to win and win now. They are willing to spend the money by spending $13 million on Dallas Keuchel, roughly. They showed me they are willing to put their chips in the middle of the table now. It shows me that they realize that the Braves are more than just a money-making entity, that they are a team, a championship caliber team with the right pieces in place. And it shows me they're willing to put those pieces in place. So the trade deadline, July 31st, I believe another move will be done. And I believe that Alex Anthopoulos knows that we have to shore up the back end. We have to shore up that bullpen because right now it's shaky. It's shaky for sure. So they know they got to shore that up. So I give the benefit of the doubt to Liberty Media, Alex Anthopoulos, that they will have another move done by July 31st, possibly moves, plural, by July 31st. But I'm saying they will at least have another move done. And I believe it's going to be a move to shore up that bullpen. So I'm not too worried about the Braves and what's transpiring right now. The only concern I do have is that can we keep pace in between that time? Because I really don't see another move happening until the trade deadline. We don't know who's going to be buyers, who's going to be sellers. There are those teams that are on the fringe right now that, are kind of in the race. They got like 1 foot in the race, 1 foot not in the race. They don't know which way they're going to go yet. They're in the middle. They're on the fringe. If they go on a winning streak, then they're going to be buyers. If they go on a losing streak and hit a schneid, then they're going to be sellers. And we don't know what players will be available. So I don't really see a move happening until that trade deadline, which is July 31st. So around that time is when I want to see some stuff shake from the Atlanta Braves. But until then, hopefully we can keep pace with the Phillies. Only a game back going into today of the Philadelphia Phillies in the NL East. So hopefully we can keep pace. But we have a very, 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 very important stretch of games coming up. Let me break it down for you. So starting today, 7:20 p.m., we have a 4-game series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Then, oh man, it's going to get crazy. We have, and these are all home games I'm listing off right now, by the way. So the 4 home games against the Pittsburgh Pirates. We have 3 huge games against the Philadelphia Phillies Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I will be in the building Friday and Sunday for those games. As you all know, I work for the Atlanta Braves on the event ops staff. Gang. But besides that, 3 huge games coming up against the Philadelphia Phillies, 3 big games against the New York Mets as well, and then 3 big games against the Washington Nationals as well. So after these 4 games against the Pittsburgh Pirates, a 3-game home series against the Phillies, 3-game home series against the Mets. Then we go on the road to take on the Nats for 3. And that's not all. That's just, we got some division games coming up, a 9-game stretch of division games coming up after this 4 games against the Pirates. But then after that, we have a 4-game series at Wrigley Field. Remember, we dusted the Cubs to start off the season this year. They're going to be looking for revenge. They're playing a lot better. That's going to be a big series as well. Then we go to New York to play the Mets for 3. Then we come back home, play the Phillies for 3 more games. And then to close out this stretch of games, we got 3 games against the Marlins. So to break it all down once again, 4 games against the Pirates starting today. After that, 3 home games against the Phillies, 3 home games against the Mets, 3 away games against the Nationals, 4 away games in Wrigley Field against the Cubs, 3 away games against the Mets, 3 games against the Phillies at home again, and at home for 3 games against the Marlins. Sheesh. Now, if that's not an important stretch to you, you're on something. 2 series coming up against the Phillies, 2 series coming up against the Mets, a series against the Nationals, series against Chicago, and the Marlins, whatever. But regardless, our bullpen, look, y'all gonna have to shape up then. Keuchel will be in there at some point, somewhere in that series. Can't really put a nail on where. It just depends on how his starts go. Hopefully he doesn't get another start rained out like his first start did when he was supposed to pitch for Gwinnett on Sunday, but that got rained out. So it's just going to be a matter of time before Keuchel comes back, roughly 2 to 3 weeks. But still, the bullpen is going to have to keep pace. Our offense is going to have to keep doing what it's been doing. It's been playing well all season. That's going to have to keep pace. But man, this is not make or break for the Braves, but roughly right now, this is the most important stretch for our Atlanta Braves right now. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens and how we fare in this next stretch of ball games for the Braves. To recap quickly what happened in that 7-6 thriller against the Miami Marlins, Max Fried was on the mound for us and started off rough for Max. He gave up a leadoff home run to Mr. Dean, and that made it 1-0 Marlins for the time being. Stayed 1-0 until the top of the third inning, where Matt Joyce doubled to deep left center field. Then Max Fried got that run back and doubled him home. And then it would stay 1-1 until we move to the bottom of the fifth inning, where Max Fried gave up 2 more runs, and where it was Martin Prado single to center, Rojas walked, Prado went to second. Then we had Holiday double to deep left, Prado scored, and then Dean again single to left, and Rojas scored off that single. That made it 3-1 Marlins. Then we moved to the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Marlins poured on 2 more runs to make it 5-1 with Touki Toussaint pitching. Touki, you got to do better than that. Max didn't have too bad of a day. He gave up those 3 runs, that one early run, that leadoff home run to Dean. But other than that, only gave up 3 runs. That's a quality start. It was a quality start for Max by definition of quality starts. Moving on, so it's 5-1 going into the top of the 9th inning, and man, oh man, did the Braves bail out Max Fried? Did they bail out Touki Toussaint? Started out with Tyler Flowers doubling to left. Flowers got the third on a wild pitch by Sergio Romo. Matt Joyce walked. Camargo came in to pinch hit for Zach Webb. Flowers scored on a balk. That made it 5-2. Camargo single to left center. Matt Joyce went to third. Then Ronald Acuna Jr. Acuna! 3-run shot to left, 403 feet, tied up the game at 5 apiece. So move to the bottom of the 9th. Anthony Schwarzak is in. Our great reliever that we got from Seattle has been pitching very well for us. Had a clean inning. We go to the top of the 10th for the Braves. 4 straight walks. Ozzie Albies walked. Tyler Flowers walked. Matt Joyce walked. Then Charlie Clutch came in clutch in a little bit different way yesterday in the top of the 10th. But he walked, and that brought home Ozzie Albies to make it 6-5. So 6-5 going into the bottom of the 10th. And then, Luke Jackson. Man, it's like Luke Jackson will take 2 steps forward, then a step back. It's just little too inconsistent for me now, Luke. He's been doing better. He's definitely been doing better. But today was one of those days. And he only gave up the 1 run. He gave up a RBI double to Martin Prado after Ramirez singled to shallow center. Prado doubled. Ramirez scored all the way from first. And that made it 6-6. So we go to the top of the 11th. Clean inning there for Garcia pitching for Miami. Then Belvins pitching for us had a clean inning. Moving to the top of the 12th. Again, we got the offense coming in clutch, bailing out the bullpen. Started off with Ozzie Albies hitting a deep triple to center field. I thought that one was out for a second, but he gets in for a triple. Tyler Flowers walked intentionally. Then Matt Joyce, he had himself a day coming in clutch for the Braves. He reached on an infield single And with that, I'll be scored. And that was it. Tomlin put it away for us in the bottom of the 12th. And that was the ball game, 7-6 final for the Braves. So our offense bailed us out, but you can't ask an offense to bail you out after you put them in a 5-1 hole. You can't ask them to score 4 runs in the top of the 9th inning, get you the lead 6-5 in the top of the 10th, give up the lead again to tie the game back up at 6, then the offense bail you out again for the second time that day to win it 7-6. You can't ask that much of an offense, even though our offense is potent and powerful enough to be capable of that. You can't expect that every time out. So it just concerns me that the bullpen might hurt us in this next stretch of games because we ain't playing no slouchers, as I said. Pittsburgh, but they can still get you. Philly, we know what they're capable of. The Mets, they've been down, but we know what they're capable of as well. Washington, they've been down, but last time we played them, they swept us in 2 games. Chicago, they're not the same team we saw early on in the season. So it's going to be a rough stretch of games here if our bullpen doesn't do what it needs to do. Hopefully Keuchel is able to come in sooner than later. Hopefully it's closer to 2 weeks instead of 3 weeks. But bullpen, we need you. We need you to come up big these next stretch of games. This entire month of June and the beginning of July, we need you guys. Offense, keep doing what you're doing. Bullpen, please, just hold him. Just hold him. Just hold the lead if we give it to you. And the starting pitching, got to look at the starting pitching too. Julio Teheran has been pitching out of his mind. Got to give a shout out to him. I believe in the last 7 games, he has a 0.70 ERA. Max had a rough outing, but only gave up 3 runs. That's still a quality start. Kevin Gausman has to pitch better. Folty has to pitch better. Mike Soroka is looking like an all-star right now. He's got to keep doing what he's doing. So it's just got to be a team effort right now in these next stretch of games for the Atlanta Braves. Finally, want to talk about the NBA Finals. Teased it a little bit earlier, but Game 5 is tonight. Whoo, man, am I excited. KD is going to play. If you haven't heard the news, he plans to play in Game 5 tonight. So, what this tells me? This tells me that it's going to be a close game. I anticipate a close game. So, with KD playing, what does this mean for the Raptors? Well, they're going to have to defend differently. And I have to believe that Nick Nurse and the coaching staff there in Toronto has had a game plan in place for what they were going to do defensively if and when Kevin Durant returned. They probably have had a game plan in place since Game 1. They just haven't had to implement it yet. I don't know if there's not really a KD type on their team that they can practice it with. So they're just going to kind of have to go with it. They're going to have to make those adjustments. And we'll see if they can make those adjustments effectively or not. But if KD, I'll let you guys know this. If KD is even 70% healthy, if he's even 70% of his self, watch out. It's going to be tough for the Raptors. But for the Raptors, this is their chance tonight. This is their best chance. KD's only going to get healthier, most likely. Klay's only going to get healthier. DeMarcus Cousins is only going to get healthier. So for the Raptors, y'all have to finish them off tonight. Tonight is your best chance in Toronto, in the 6. Drake and the rest of Jurassic Park and that Toronto fan base going to be acting a straight fool. This is your chance. You have to capitalize on it tonight while you've got your foot on the Warriors' neck. So it's going to come down to how the Raptors are going to defend KD, and is it going to be effective or not to neutralize KD? Don't think you're going to stop him all the way. You might be able to since he's not 100% healthy, but you at least got to neutralize him. Also, this game is going to come down to the little things. Free throws. I know you're like, free throws? Free throws? Yes, free throws. Last game, game 4. Toronto 23-24 from the free throw line, 95.8%. You want to know what Golden State's was? 14 of 21, 66.7%. Golden State's going to have to do better because the game's going to be close. You're going to have to knock down your free throws. Game 3, same thing. Toronto 20 of 21, 95.2%. Golden State better, but still they left some points on the table, 25 of 30. Game 2, it was better for Golden State. 20 of 23, 87%. Toronto, 23 of 26. They both missed 3 free throws. Toronto just got to the line a little bit more, but Golden State won anyway. My point is, you're going to have to do the little things. Who's going to get those 50-50 balls? Who's going to knock down open shots? Who's going to make their free throws? Who wants it more? That's what it's going to come down to. Does Toronto want to win a championship tonight more, or does Golden State want to go back to the Oracle more? It's going to be interesting. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited. I'm pumped for Game 5. I think it's going to be a great game. I think probably we're looking at the best game here. Game 5, I think, is going to be the best game we've seen this whole series. As far as my prediction goes, you didn't think I would leave out a prediction, would you? Not tonight. Not this time. You know, I'm not going to lie. Going into the series, I thought Golden State was going to do it. I was not sold on the Raptors. I just couldn't bring myself to bet against Golden State after everything they've shown me these past couple of years. I thought KD was going to be back sooner. And honestly, I thought even without KD, Golden State would find a way to get it done. I did not expect Kawhi Leonard to go this crazy. I knew he would go crazy. I did not expect him to go this crazy. I did not expect Fred VanVleet to put up the numbers he has, to hit the big shots that he has. I did not expect that big game out of Serge Ibaka in Game 4, of course. I did not expect a big Game 1 out of Pascal Siakam. Mind you, remember, he scored 32 points, had 8 boards, and 5 assists in Game 1. Did not expect that out of him. I did not expect the Raptors to even win Game 1 as far as that goes. The Raptors have surprised me. And still, a little part of me thinks Golden State is going to pull this off, especially with KD going back. But I'm sticking with my gut, and right now my gut is telling me the Raptors are going to win tonight. They're going to bring a championship home to the 6, and Drake is going to go straight crazy. Everybody just be ready for Drake go to straight crazy, because I think the Raptors are going to bring it home tonight. I think Kawhi and the gang are going to win the chip tonight. I think they're going to put it away tonight. The Raptors have shown me enough to where I just can't bet against them. I have a gut feeling. Usually my gut feeling is not wrong. So book it. Raptors tonight. Final score, I'll go with something around the likes of 95-83. 95-83 Raptors final. Going to be close all the way down the stretch, but then Raptors going to pull away, going to get into a game of 3 free throws, that formality type junk. But ultimately, the Raptors are going to win it, and they will end the Warriors' run. That's it. That's all I got to say to it. But we're going to see what happens. Hopefully, KD is healthy enough. Hopefully, he doesn't re-injure himself. Hopefully, everybody out there stays healthy. Just want to see some good basketball. And I think we will get that here tonight with Game 5. Some quick news. Tony Parker retiring. He announced that today. Tony Parker, of course, 4-time NBA champion, 6-time All-Star, and an NBA Finals MVP. So salute to that guy, Tony Parker. He will be missed in the league, man. He was a boss. So shouts out to Tony Parker. Also, David Ortiz, prayers out to him. If you haven't heard, somebody in the Dominican Republic just shot David Ortiz in the back. Luckily, didn't hit his spine, went straight through his stomach, but he did have liver and kidney damage. But he is recovering. He will make it, but he is going to be in intensive care for the next 24 hours. So prayers up to David Ortiz and their family. Just glad Big Papi is okay. That would have been sad for the lost Big Papi. But luckily, they did get the shooter. Boy, those people in Dominican, don't mess with Big Papi now. Don't mess with him. Not especially not in his soil, not in his home soil. Boy, you crazy. Man, they got him, roughed him up. I saw a picture. Boy, what? Black and blue? He was black and blue. So he went to the hospital after he got roughed up and then was arrested. So he is in custody. That is good news as well, because that's just a coward, man. Shooting David Ortiz in the back. Bro, come on, man. What are you doing? You wasn't going to square up with him. I know you wasn't about that life. Not against Big Papi. You wasn't about that life, coward. But either way it goes. To recap here, Falcons started their mandatory minicamp today. Julio, Deion Jones, Grady Jarrett, Vic Beasley, all in attendance. Julio and Debo not practicing, however, because they are rehabbing their respective foot injuries, but they all took their physicals. So I am happy about that. Happy to hear that they are all there. Again, shows the team is ready to win. They are all on the same page. They're ready to win now and ready to bring a title home to Atlanta while their championship window is still open. The Braves. Whew. I'm going to be sweating this next month and some change. Bullpen, got to hold it together. Got to keep leads. Got to keep the Braves in position to get leads. Just keep them in the game, bullpen. Keep them in the game. Starting pitching, same to you. Offense, keep doing what you're doing, please. Also, the finals. Game 5 tonight. KD's going to play. We know what the Stars are going to do. KD, probably going to at least have 20-something. Steph, I'm imagining a 30-point, between 25 and 30 for Steph. Clay, low to high 20s. Kawhi, I'm expecting high 20s, low 30s. Pascal Siakam, I'm expecting 20s, maybe high teens. Fred, I hope Fred is going to have to knock down some big threes. Serge Ibaka, I forgot to mention. Excuse me, Serge. Let me put some respect on Serge Ibaka's name. How big was he in Game 4? 20 points, 9 of 12 from the field, hit a 3. Serge went crazy last game. I was looking at Serge like, man, this looked like the 2011 Serge Ibaka. Like, Ibaka was going crazy. Gonna need a same effort from him tonight. They get that kind of effort from Serge again. The Raptors might be hoisting the trophy tonight. But that's all the time we have on this episode here. Please, 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 please subscribe to my channel. Dylan Matthews is where you can find that channel, where you can search that channel. Please like this video. Let me know what you think. You think the Raptors going to finish it off tonight? You think the Warriors are going to come back? Are they going to come back and just make a series out of it? Or are they going to come back and win the whole shebang and come back 3-1? Tell me what you think. You think the Braves are going to be able to hold and keep pace with the Phillies during this tough stretch of games? The Falcons, what do you think they're going to do this season? Let me know. I'll talk to you next time. Peace.